Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we gotta talk about the land of Harry Sisson because I want to believe wasn't Harry Sisson born in Singapore? Harry Sisson. I'm getting distracted already, but yes, yeah, he was born in Singapore. Believe it or not. I wonder what the occasion was there. Uh, yeah, he spent part of his life in Dubai. Yeah, and then he decided to come here. And I'm like, what are you doing? Take your cred somewhere else? And I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and I thought interesting fact, and I wanted to bring that up since it was related to the topic. But yeah, we had Singapore's election. Apparently, Singapore has rejected Harry Sisson because Harry Sisson's just too liberal. And believe it or not, you cannot be a liberal in Singapore. It's just not allowed. You'll see the conservatives, the PAP, the right-wing populist party, has continued to gain momentum. Yes, it's center-right, historically anti-communist, but this political party has historically been pretty conservative. That you'll see clearly Prime Minister Lawrence Wong won re-election by a landslide of 65%. He's gotten a four-seat increase of a 4-seat swing, and it only increased by 4.34%. Yeah, you could say, oh, but this was bad for him because Pritam Singh, who is also, it's not like Trinidad and Tobago, where you just only have right-wing candidates. They do have a left-wing party, but extremely unpopular. Yeah, I mean, you only got 14,000 people. I mean, 14.99%, 359,000 people in your coalition. By the map, you'll see Singapore. It's very interesting because it's an interesting country. Located south of the peninsula of Malaya, which is part of Malaysia, believe it or not. Yes, Malaysia, this part where it borders Thailand. Yeah, that's over here. It's called Malaya. It used to be a British colony until they decided to merge with the main part of Malaysia. So Malaysia is geographically a geographically diverse country because they're bordering two kind of micro states, quote quote. They have Brunei up in the north and over on the island of Borneo, and which is of course a part of Indonesia. Then you have the microstate of Singapore, and is it urban? Is it rural? I would imagine that the country is pretty urban because a country as small as that, you would imagine it would be very similar. Yeah, it looks urban too. It would look very similar to the Vatican City, or Liechtenstein, or San Marino, or Andorra. Andorra's pretty rural, though. You have also blanking on that said name. Monaco. Yes, Monaco. But this is pretty much the country. I want to say, is it urban? Mostly urban? Yes. Yeah, urbanization. So I would imagine it's pretty urban. But anyways, the populist right has won yet again. You'll see by seats. They have, I want to believe, there 97, I believe there are 97 seats in parliament. And you just have, ultimately, you need up. No, I don't think you need a majority. It doesn't say you need a certain majority, but obviously this was a win yet again for the right. We have been hearing that Singapore is not just a right wing, but authoritarian right wing country. It's actually a country where ultimately conservatism is praised, and no wonder Harry Sisson decided to leave. But you can clearly see that by election results, you'll see previously, you'll see it. In the 2020 election, the PAP lost some seats, but notice by popular vote, still a landslide, which does voice the voices the ideology of Singaporeans. Almost 70% voting for the PAP. 2011, 60%. 2009, 66%. Okay, 2001, 75%. You get what I'm saying? 64% in 1997, 1991, going for 60%. So if I can look at mistakenly, I don't think Singapore has ever had a left-wing prime minister. We can actually look that up. List of prime ministers of Singapore. And I know I'm going to forget, so I'm just going to say it right now. This video is 7 days late. I know this because this happened on the day Australia had their election, and ultimately that was a blunder of mine. I thought, oh, it's just Australia. Nope, it was also Singapore, and I forgot to do that. So thank goodness I checked on the calendar and I said, oh wait, hang on, it's supposed to be Singapore. But obviously, yes, I am correct. The PAP has controlled Singapore since its independence from Britain. That is huge. And you got only 4 prime ministers: Lee Kuan Yew, Chow Chuk Tong, Lee Hsien Loong, and Lawrence Wong. Okay, and they all come from the PAP, which PAP, I think it's gotten a little bit more centrist now, mainly because it's not really the Cold War anymore, but its ideology being secularism. And we know secularism and right wing, that means more populist, right? Conservatism, civic nationalism, historical anti-communism. It doesn't mean they're still not anti-communist, but that's not really a concern of themselves anymore. But I have heard that Singapore, especially, is a country that is getting more conservative. It is getting more right-wing. Is it getting more fascist? I don't think it's fascist. No, I think it's very equivalent to Thailand, if you will. Thailand, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan used to be a very right-wing country, and I don't know why they aren't anymore. They keep doubling down on these more liberal, tolerating presidents, which I find very weird. That's Taiwan, and perhaps maybe Taiwan will return back to the right, but as of right now, it's in question. But looking at this, obviously, I don't really know the said result. These are constituency results, meaning that they are basically divided up. I don't know what the capital of Singapore is. I would just assume, if I'm being a know-it-all or something like that, and say, oh, it's just Singapore, because it relatively is just too small to have the capital. It's just one big urban country, or city. It's like Washington, D.C. becoming its own state. But capital is Singapore. Yes, it is a city-state, and that's exactly what Singapore is, city-state, and it is become relatively very urban. but it's not like the urban areas we know today. Obviously, it's like in the United States, urban areas are overwhelmingly liberal. Well, in Asia, it's actually the other way around, and because politics are different, it's actually farmers, laborers in the rural countryside that are communist. History has told us that communists tend to be in the more rural areas, urbanists tend to be more conservative. And yes, it's probably because of the rich, quote unquote. They're more wealthier. And they ultimately know the consequences of communism. Because communism, it's very hard to understand. It took me a long time for me to understand what communism was. Because on paper it looks good. I mean, giving money to poor people? That's what old 7th grade me was thinking. Oh, this is good. No, it's not. That's the grift. That's how they lure you in. But that's pretty much it for Singapore. But anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.